What if your home, the place you believe is your sanctuary, your refuge, your safe space, is filled with objects that are actively working against you? What if certain items you see every day, things you were taught to display, to cherish, to surround yourself with, are not neutral decorations, but energetic conductors, frequency transmitters, portals that allow archonic entities to monitor, influence, and harvest your energy without your awareness? What if Jesus, in his teachings to the inner circle, in the knowledge that was hidden from the masses and encoded in the Gnostic texts, warned about specific objects that the Archons use as anchors in the material realm, as nodes in their control grid, as tools to keep consciousness trapped in lower frequencies? You've been taught that objects are just objects, that a mirror is just glass and silver, that a clock is just a mechanism for measuring time, that a television is just entertainment, that religious icons are holy, that certain shapes and symbols are meaningless. But the ancient mystery schools knew differently. They understood that objects hold frequency, that they interact with the electromagnetic field of the human body, that they can amplify certain energies and suppress others. They knew that the Archons, who cannot directly enter the material realm because they exist in the astral planes, use physical objects as anchors, as gateways, as energetic hooks that allow them to extend their influence into your home, into your consciousness, into your life. And Jesus, who was not just a spiritual teacher, but a master of energy, of frequency, of the hidden mechanics of reality, taught his disciples to be aware of what they allowed into their spaces. In the Gospel of Thomas, he says, "If you do not fast from the world, you will not find the kingdom." He is not talking about abstaining from food. He is talking about withdrawing consent from the systems, the structures, the objects that the world uses to keep you asleep. He is telling you to remove the hooks, to clear the channels, to purify your space so that your consciousness can rise without interference. But here's the question the church never wanted you to ask. If Jesus taught about clearing your space, if the Gnostics practiced energetic hygiene, if the mystery schools knew which objects were dangerous, then why has this knowledge been suppressed? Why does modern religion fill churches with statues, icons, crosses, while telling you these are holy when the second commandment explicitly forbids graven images? And why does the secular world fill your home with mirrors, screens, clocks, and synthetic materials that disrupt your natural frequency? In this video, you will discover the 5 hidden objects that the Archons use as energetic anchors in your home. You'll learn what the Gnostic texts reveal about mirrors as portals, about how they create energetic feedback loops and allow entities to observe you through the astral plane. You'll uncover the truth about electronic screens, how they emit frequencies that suppress the pineal gland, disrupt your circadian rhythm, and keep you locked in beta brainwave states where you are reactive, distracted, and easy to control. You'll learn why clocks, specifically analog clocks with ticking mechanisms, are used to anchor consciousness in linear time, keeping you trapped in the illusion of past and future, and preventing you from accessing the eternal now. You'll discover the hidden danger of religious icons and statues, how they function as idols that siphon worship energy and redirect it to egregores, thought forms, archonic entities that feed on devotion. And you'll learn about synthetic materials, plastics, artificial fabrics, chemical-laden objects that lower your frequency, disrupt your biofield, and create static in the energetic environment of your home. Most people will dismiss this. Most will say it's superstition, that objects have no power, that this is paranoia. But those who have removed these objects, those who have cleansed their space, those who have followed the ancient teachings, report the same experience. Clarity, peace, energy, dreams become lucid, intuition sharpening, the constant low-level anxiety that they didn't even realize was there, gone, because the hooks have been removed, the channels have been cleared, and the Archons no longer have easy access. So if you're ready, if you're willing to look at your home with new eyes, if you're prepared to remove what needs to go, then watch closely, because what you're about to learn could change everything. Not because I'm telling you what to think, but because the moment you remove these objects, you will feel the difference, and you will know beyond doubt that this knowledge is real. The first object Jesus warned about is the mirror. You have mirrors everywhere, in your bathroom, in your bedroom, on your walls, in your hallways. And you've been taught that mirrors are neutral, that they simply reflect light, that they serve a practical function. But the ancient mystery schools understood that mirrors are not neutral. They are energetic devices. They create portals. They generate feedback loops, and they allow entities from the astral plane to observe the material realm. In the Pistis Sophia, Jesus describes the structure of the cosmos, the layers of reality, the realms of the Archons, and he explains that certain objects in the material world function as windows, as gateways, as thresholds between dimensions. He does not use the word mirror, because mirrors as we know them, polished glass backed with silver, did not exist in his time. But he describes reflective surfaces, still water, polished metal, any surface that creates a perfect reflection as dangerous. Because reflection is not passive, it is a doubling. It creates a duplicate image, and in the doubling, a space is opened, a gap, a threshold where entities can cross. The Gnostics taught that when you look into a mirror, you are not seeing yourself. You are seeing your reflection, your doppelganger, your energetic double. And that double exists in a liminal space, not fully material, not fully astral, but in between. And the Archons, who dwell in the in-between, who exist in the spaces where matter and spirit overlap, use mirrors as observation points. They watch through mirrors. They study you. They learn your patterns, your weaknesses, your fears. And they use that information to craft illusions, to send thoughts, to manipulate emotions. This is why mirrors have always been associated with the occult, with scrying, with spirit contact, because they work. Magicians use mirrors to summon entities. Witches use black mirrors to see into other realms. And the Archons use the mirrors in your home to maintain surveillance. Every time you look into a mirror, you are opening a channel. You are creating a moment of vulnerability. And if your consciousness is not strong, if your field is not protected, if you are lost in thought, in ego, in identification with the reflection, entities can attach, can influence, can feed. The solution is simple. Remove mirrors from spaces where you are vulnerable. Do not keep mirrors in your bedroom, where you sleep, where your consciousness leaves the body, where you are unguarded. Do not keep mirrors facing your bed. Do not keep mirrors in spaces where you meditate, where you pray, where you do spiritual work. If you must have mirrors for practical use, keep them in the bathroom, in the entryway, and cover them when not in use. Hang a cloth, close a cabinet, break the constant reflection, and notice what happens. You will sleep better, your dreams will clear, the sense of being watched will fade. The second object is electronic screens, televisions, computers, phones, tablets. You are surrounded by screens. You stare at them for hours every day, and you've been told they are tools, that they connect you, that they inform you, that they entertain you. But what they actually do is entrain you. They lock your brainwaves into specific frequencies. They suppress your pineal gland. They disrupt your natural rhythms. And they keep you in a state of constant stimulation, constant distraction, constant reactivity. Screens emit blue light, a specific wavelength that signals to your brain that it is daytime, that you should be alert, that you should be active. This light suppresses melatonin production, the hormone that regulates sleep, that activates the pineal gland, that allows you to access deeper states of consciousness. When you stare at screens, especially at night, you are telling your body to stay in a beta brainwave state, the state of waking consciousness, of fight or flight, of survival mode. You cannot access alpha, the state of relaxation. You cannot access theta, the state of meditation, of intuition, of connection to the divine. You are locked in beta, and in beta, you are easy to control. But the deeper danger is not the light. It is the content, the images, the messages, the frequencies embedded in the broadcast. The Archons do not need to appear to you directly. They do not need to speak to you in words. They program you through screens, through news that generates fear, through entertainment that normalizes violence, that glorifies materialism, that sexualizes everything, that keeps you addicted to drama, to outrage, to distraction. Every minute you spend watching a screen is a minute your consciousness is not your own. You are being fed, and you are feeding them. Jesus warned about this in symbolic language. He said, "The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is unhealthy, your whole body will be full of darkness." He is not talking about physical vision. He is talking about what you allow into your consciousness through your eyes. If you fill your eyes with the images of the world, with the illusions of the Archons, Your body, your energy field, your consciousness will be filled with darkness, with low frequency, with the static of the control grid. The solution is radical. Remove screens from your bedroom. Remove screens from your sacred spaces. Limit screen time to necessity. And when you do use screens, be intentional. Do not scroll. Do not binge. Do not let the algorithm lead you. Use the tool for a specific purpose, then turn it off. And notice the difference. Your energy will return. Your focus will sharpen. Your intuition will awaken, because you have stopped feeding the beast. The third object is the clock. Not digital clocks, which are simply screens displaying numbers, but analog clocks, the ones with hands, with ticking mechanisms, with the constant sound of time passing. Tick, tick, tick. You hear it in the background. You don't even notice it anymore, but your subconscious does. And every tick is a reminder, a reinforcement, a hypnotic suggestion that you are subject to time, that time is running out, that you are aging, that you are limited, that you are mortal. The Archons rule through time. The material realm is a prison of linear time, where past, present, and future seem separate, where you are trapped in the illusion of progression, of cause and effect, of birth and death. But the monad exists beyond time. The pleroma is eternal, and your true nature, the divine spark, is timeless. You are not subject to time. You are subject to the belief in time, and the clock is the tool that reinforces that belief. The Gnostics understood this. They did not measure time. They lived in presence, in the eternal now, in the awareness that all moments exist simultaneously. And Jesus, when he taught, spoke of kairos time, not chronos time. Chronos is clock time, linear time, the time of the demiurge. Kairos is the opportune moment, the eternal present, the time of the divine. And he taught his disciples to live in kairos, to be present, to stop counting minutes and start inhabiting eternity. The ticking clock is a hypnotic device. The repetitive sound, the constant rhythm, lulls the conscious mind into passivity and programs the subconscious with limitation. Every tick is a subliminal message. You are running out, you are aging, you are dying. And that message becomes embedded in your nervous system, in your energy field, in your beliefs about reality. And those beliefs shape your experience. The solution is to remove ticking clocks from your home. If you need to know the time, use a digital display that is silent. Or better, learn to live without constant reference to clock time. Trust your body's natural rhythms. Trust your intuition. Trust the flow of presence. And notice how removing the ticking changes your experience. You will feel less rushed, less anxious, more present, because the hypnotic device has been removed. The fourth object is religious icons and statues, crosses, crucifixes, statues of Mary, statues of saints, images of Jesus. You were taught that these are holy, that they help you connect to the divine, that they are reminders of faith. But the second commandment, the one that is conveniently downplayed in most churches, says explicitly, "You shall not make for yourself a carved image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath. You shall not bow down to them or serve them." Why would God command this? Because images become idols, and idols become egregores. An egregore is a thought form, an entity created by collective belief, by worship, by the focused attention and emotion of many people over time. When millions of people pray to a statue, when they direct their devotion, their energy, their worship to an image, that image becomes more than wood or stone. It becomes a vessel. It becomes inhabited, but not by the divine, by something that feeds on worship. The Archons cannot create. They can only imitate. They cannot generate their own energy. They can only harvest. So they create systems where humans willingly give energy to false gods, to idols, to images. And the religious icon is the perfect trap. You think you are praying to Jesus, to Mary, to a saint. But the energy does not go to infinity. It goes to the egregore, the thought form, the archonic entity that has attached itself to the image. And that entity feeds and grows and influences. Jesus never told anyone to make images of him. He never said, build statues, create icons, bow before representations. He said, God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and truth, not through images, not through idols, but through consciousness, through presence, through the direct connection to the infinite. The solution is to remove religious icons from your home. Do not keep statues. Do not keep images that you treat as objects of worship. If you want a reminder of Jesus, read his words, embody his teachings, be the living temple, but do not create an idol, because the idol does not connect you to the divine. It disconnects you and feeds something else. The fifth object is synthetic materials. Plastics, polyester, synthetic fabrics, chemical-laden objects, artificial fragrances. These materials are everywhere, in your furniture, in your clothes, in your cleaning products, in your air fresheners, and they are not neutral, they are toxic, not just chemically, but energetically. Natural materials, wood, cotton, wool, stone, metal, carry the frequency of the earth, of life, of organic creation. They resonate with your biofield. They support your energy. But synthetic materials are dead. They are petroleum-based, chemical constructs that do not exist in nature. And they emit frequencies that disrupt your field, that create static, that lower your vibration. The Archons cannot survive in high-frequency environments. They thrive in low-frequency spaces, in places filled with fear, with toxicity, with artificial vibrations. And synthetic materials create exactly that environment. They use off-gas chemicals. They emit electromagnetic fields. They disrupt the natural resonance of your home. And they keep you vibrating in a range where you are tired, where you are foggy, where you are easy to influence. The solution is to gradually replace synthetic materials with natural ones. Use cotton sheets, wool blankets, and wooden furniture. Avoid plastic as much as possible. Use natural cleaning products, essential oils, instead of synthetic fragrances. Create an environment that resonates with life, with nature, with the frequency of the earth. And notice the difference. Your energy will rise. Your clarity will return. Your home will feel like a sanctuary again. These are the 5 objects: mirrors, screens, clocks, icons, synthetics. And if you remove them, if you cleanse your space, you will feel the shift. Not because you are superstitious, but because you have removed the hooks, the anchors, the tools the Archons use to maintain access to your field. Your home will become what it was meant to be: a temple, a sanctuary, a space where consciousness can rise without interference. If this message resonated, share it and subscribe, because the hidden traps are being exposed. Stay clear, stay sovereign, and cleanse your space. The Archons lose power the moment you withdraw consent, and removing their tools is the first step.